Question 747. I should so have made it about a plane. Question 747. Do you think democracy is broken? What would you replace it with?
Yes.
I would replace it with the rule of two.
Yes.
We may have taken too long on the donkey question.
I would replace it with like this, the Galactic Empire style of government.
The Galactic Empire.
Oh.
So
You want to be
dictatorship.
ruled by a couple of Sith.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be one of the Sith.
You're
So
going to be.
simple.
Oh, I see. It's very easy to design a society when you decide where you're going to be positioned.
Yeah, where you're going to be positioned in it. It's always a lot more helpful. I just don't know whether to do it under, like, design it around Disney canon or not. That's the only.
Oh, Jeff, stop.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Badger.
I pulled him right out of the donkey porn hell.
I think it is broken, and I would replace it with Mandalorian culture, but not as portrayed in the Clone Wars.
What is Mandalorian culture? Can we have some references that people know?
Complicated, but also quite simple. It's essentially kind of like tribal culture of clans of family groups. The downside is they do go to war with each other sometimes.
So, like death.
Sometimes.
Nerdy says, yes, a better democratic system. Purple says, the US never had a democracy from day one. Franklin said we had a republic. Ricardo says, a dildo. Pretty much the same function.
I suppose
You're not getting off with the government.
I suppose there's would be an argument for a more like more direct democracy kind of thing rather than representative democracy. But there's all sorts of pitfalls and potential problems with that as well. But it would at least be democratic for whatever else its failings might be.
How about people vote on like issues instead of for parties?
Well, that's
what I meant
direct democracy.
That's what I meant by direct
Okay,
democracy.
I missed a bit.
Crazy.
What are you
saying, man?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, direct democracy we could now do. We could implement it technologically and have it work without the political system seizing up, which has never been possible in the past.
No.
Okay. However, that would mean the people voting had even less of a clue about what they were voting on than the politicians do now. It meant that anyone with a vested interest could. You've only got to influence a relatively small number of people to get anything passed.
Yeah.
And that works.
That's true now. You've just got to go and bribe the people.
But right now,
at the moment, only rich people can do it, whereas with this, other people who are not so rich will be able to do it.
No, they wouldn't, because as soon as the problem you've got is that anything that went up against anyone with any power would automatically lose. So everything that you can think that would work relatively benignly, you could go and bribe, you could go and pay off X number of people to vote the way you want them to. That will piss someone off who will go spend more against you, and it will just come down to the rich people again.
It's for a direct democracy to work. Again, you'd have to have even more checks and balances than you would on a parliamentary form for it to actually be sustainable.
Purple says, don't replace it, just take off and nuke the site from orbit. Sammy says, Ricardo obviously meant a butt plug, as that has the same function as government.
I'm leaning towards Purple's answer, actually.
Nerdy says, you simply have to pass a test in order to be able to vote first. That test being whether or not do you have a basic understanding of the issue. No, the problem I've got with that is who determines whether or not you've got a basic understanding.
Me.
I say
Yeah.
any answer that I can answer me works.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, here's the thing. Anyway, you talk about basic understanding of the actual issues or whatever of the day. You got a president of the United States who has no fucking clue about the basic issues.
What are you talking about? He knows all the issues. He has the smartest brain.
I know all the
Best words.
issues.
And it's huge. It's all
What's huge?
huge.
What are you talking about?
Huge.
His hands, obviously.
His hands. Okay.
He's got AAA battery fingers.
His cranium. Big-headed asshole. Anyways.
That's what you're talking about. His mushroom.
Ew. Why did you?
Ew.
I'm back to that fucking image in my head. I'm never gonna believe.
Dave, I now have an image in my head and
out.
also I now have an image in my head and also severe concerns about the logistical practicality of that.
I have an idea, inspired by Babylon 5.
Go on.
We just divide everyone up equally. Give one group a green sash and the other group a purple sash. Then they beat the shit out of each other, and whoever wins gets to lead for the next few years. And then we do it again in a few years' time.
I told you dueling was a good idea.
This isn't so much dueling; it's more just a massive epic brawl.
Oh, come on,
It's fun.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see what you put on your screen there, Jed.
I'll put it back up. Oh yeah.
Purple says, who gets to write and administer the test? Purple says,
Okay.
how about we just skip that test and let AI run everything?
No.
Well, I think... Why not?
Who designs the AI?
Me.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
What? I might vote for it. I might vote for that.
Yeah.
Be better than what we have going on now. Anything.
StreamYard Tidy works fairly well.
Say again?
Said StreamYard Tidy works fairly well, but it doesn't decide whether I'm allowed to shit or not.
No, I think that decision could remain in your hands, depending on certain
I'd
factors.
rather it go in the toilet.
I was gonna say I'd prefer it in the toilet than my hands.
Manda.
Oh, Manda.
What now?
She's mad.
Is democracy broken? What should we replace it with?
Yes, democracy is broken. Fucking replace it with science. I don't know.
Science.
But
Beth
the
Hawkins.
idea of
A meritocracy.
voting for no.
No.
The idea of voting for specific issues, that does make sense. But our biggest issue is that, everything is so party focused, especially in my country right now. So get rid of the parties.
Yeah, but they have orchestrated it so that it's that way. So they can get.
Of course they have.
So that they can maintain power.
I have no answer other than yes.
Okay. I'll just fucking throw it out there. Then we have direct democracy in the form of workers' councils, and everything is owned equally, and blah blah blah.
What do you mean exactly by? Wait! What do you mean by everything is owned equally?
Pure communism. Pure communism.
I don't think it would work.
I have my doubts, and I'm a Marxist, and I have my doubts as to how sustainable it actually would be.
I think it could work.
The problem is,
in a society of 100 people.
Yeah,
no, it can't.
It
It can't work in a society of 100 people. We've seen that.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work better in smaller communities than it is like on a national scale or something.
No, it can't work on that scale because you have people that are passive and people that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you have that, the reason that we had lots of communes come out of the 60s, and lots of them went down the communist ideals. Okay, and they all start off fantastic because everyone going into them has these ideals, and very, very quickly, there's very few of them still remain, but very quickly it ends up with someone in charge.
Because they're also still dependent on the outside system.
Oh, to some degree, some yes, some no, but that's not the issue. Is what happens internally, and internally, we end up with people that are passive. They want to do stuff to help the cause.
Well,
and people that wonder.
It's the thing of whether technically you can remove the right of recall, whether you can remove people at like immediate notice. I mean, which technically, like first sort of early part of the Russian Revolution. I mean, that did actually happen when all the Bolsheviks on I think it was on the Petrograd Soviet were recalled and replaced with Mensheviks, just like that.
How about this? The problem that I've spotted with all these political systems is people.
Yeah.
So how about we install whatever the fuck political system you like, and just any of them will work perfectly as long as you remove all of the people.
Yes. I guarantee that capitalism will work flawlessly if you remove all the people.
Yeah.
So will communism.
So just install whatever the fuck you like, and just get rid of all the humans, and then everything will be lovely. And I can just sit in my burrow and dig.
Right.
Worms.
Okay. As the best thing I have seen from a democracy point of view, okay, is original democracy. Which is, you do it by lots. It is done basically randomly. Because it is the only way to remove lobbyists' power. Because they don't know who to do anything. So basically you just pick 300 citizens randomly and say, for the next 4 years, this is your job.
I mean, I think the longest period in history where you had anything that resembled a direct democracy was probably ancient Athens, but even then there was a lot that was wrong with that system.
I've spotted a problem with your random selection of citizens, Dave.
Go on. It'll select idiots.
There is a chance that you might eventually end up with me in a position of authority.
Yeah, that would be fine. You would be tempered.
And
yes, you are tempered.
And then I would be there, just like looking at stuff, going, I don't fucking get this.
Yes, but this is the problem. You then require a civil service that can explain stuff. What are we now Purple and Nerdy are talking about dice rolls for the entire government, although that's not far off.
What I'm getting at is that you would eventually end up randomly selecting me, and I'm a fucking idiot.
Yes, but you're also better than the majority of people that would be selected. Sammy
Perhaps,
says...
but that's... but I'm still a fucking idiot.
Sammy says, yes, it's broken, all you need is love. Ricardo says, I think
talking about 4 years is too long, Dave. Because if you do it for 4 years, by the time you get to 4 years, they're probably going to be corrupted by someone. I
partly agree.
A 2-year term.
She's got a pet.
Aww, baby.
His cat. Yes.
What does the cat think about democracy?
The cat's complaining because I picked her up. She's not meant to be in here.
Right.
That's a very interesting learning thought.
Yeah, I think the cat's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that there are issues that need... I think there are issues that need to be dealt with over a longest time scale. And there are issues that need to be dealt with in a short time scale. And I don't know how you reconcile these two things. Because one is used to influence the other. In the same way when you have an emergency like COVID, you have to make snap decisions that are put into force that affect. But This policy, all across the world, they have put into place policies, and I will put money that these are used for other things in future. Every time a law is written, it is found to be exploited in another way later in the future.
I've got an idea. Here's the problem with any system you come up. Oh, fucking nipples! I can't speak. Right. Here's the problem with any system you come up with. After a while, people will find all the loopholes and exploit them.
Yes.
So, how about you randomly select a new political system every year, and then by the time people have found the loopholes, it'll be time to switch to a new one.
Oh, no, to be honest, it's not. It's an insane idea, but the premise.
So many fucking flaws, though. Like so many flaws.
I know. I'm not actually coming up with sensible ideas. This is why I don't want to be in office.
The point is, I think we need to design a political system that works around attempting to do the least amount of harm at the core.
Okay.
Rather than trying to come up with the best one. Because the best one is very idealistic. Anyway, that's me. Moving on!
I think that, that Dave wishes he were a politician sometimes, because I swear to God, you never get into shit more than you do in politics when we talk about stuff. You know that, right?
Yes, but the problem I have with that is I have no clue how to fix anything. Yeah? I'm accused of being on the left, I'm accused of being on the right because I sit there and look at their policies and what they actually mean and try and understand them. And they're all for shit because all of them work on ideals. And the ideals don't work. When it comes down, and it's not that what they say is wrong, it's that it mostly doesn't apply to people in a sane way. So
I think you all need compulsory voting.
I do think we need compulsory voting. I have to say, but look where that's got you.
I disagree about the compulsory voting.
In our system is the way the borders work for voting areas, and they basically do a similar thing in our politics to what the electoral college does in the US, and it allows the parties in power to weight the voters in their favor.
You mean gerrymandering?
Yeah, basically gerrymandering. Well, because they can shift boundaries within a certain amount within electoral boundaries, and thereby make certain votes count more than others, which is fucked up.
How about this?
Two things first.
Go on. Compulsory voting, I think, is a terrible idea because then all the people who are like, I'm an idiot and I don't want to vote, are forced to. So
yes, they can be persuaded easily.
That one.
Yeah. I have thought about that, and I think that it would probably still be less damaging. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced, but
because what I would personally do if there was compulsory voting and I felt I didn't know enough to have a coherent opinion is I would show up and I would put I don't fucking know on the ballot, and
which would be reasonable.
Drop it in.
Yeah,
but I don't think most would do that. I think
no. Most people think they know everything.
People would either show up with a very flawed but ideologically driven understanding of a complex issue and tick a box based on that, or just pick one where the candidate smiled at them at one time.
Yeah, entirely. That's exactly what I was going to say. Let's go. Skipping over lots of it. Sammy says, I believe most systems would work if they were powered from the bottom up. Ricardo said, here's a novel idea. If a loophole in the law is found, punish everyone that used it before court test or a government consultation. See, I wonder whether or not individual sentences on laws, should have an intent listed alongside them.
I think they should do. I think we should do what I think happened in Sparta. If anyone was in a public office or whatever, that the second they're out of it, they immediately go on trial.
Interesting.
I quite like that.
And I think especially with certain people in power at the moment, I think that would be a really fucking good idea.
Well, this is why I fear what Trump is going to do.
As soon as you leave, there's a right now. Let's review everything you did while you were in office, and did you do anything you should be in jail for? That would be interesting.
Oh, if he I have no doubts in my mind that if he wins a second term, he will spend the next 2 years trying to get it blooming changed so he can run for a third.
Oh yes, but I don't think he will win. But the issue is the question is what is he going to do between now and that election? I mean, he got to know that he's going to be indicted as soon as he leaves office.
Yeah, I'm still actually not that convinced that he's not going to fucking win. It's not like Biden's exactly doing anything to fucking inspire all the people that are actually pissed at Trump, is it? Let's be honest.
Right. I think we'll go to the next question, unless anyone else has anything very profound to say on that one. I think we've solved democracy.
I don't think you can solve democracy.
Right.
I don't know. Have we solved democracy? Let's put it to a vote.
I abstain.
Compulsory voting, Badger.
All right, I vote tits.
You can do a donkey vote.
So we've got one vote for donkey, one vote for tits.
I am doing nothing with donkeys.
Right, shut up.
We're going to say we have the motion. The motion is should donkey shows be legal? We believe the motion is going to fall here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure donkeys can't exactly consent, so I'm going to go with no on that one.
Yeah, I think the motion falls.
I like that. Maya says the best thing Biden can do for himself is to shut the fuck up. His number go down every time he talks.
Oh god.
Yeah, pretty fucking much.
Right, question 748.
Put his hands in his goddamn pocket.
Could they just have
And not
Biden
fidget.
as like? Could they just have Biden just sit there so that all the fucking the rich assholes who will only give money to established political figures can like throw money at him, and then like someone else talks for him.
What you're saying is will Bernie shove his hand up Biden's arse?
Yeah, work him like a puppet.
They made it fair. I mean, look, America lost a massive fucking opportunity 4 years ago, with Bernie, and I kind of knew going into this there's no way that the Democrats were ever going to let Bernie be their candidate. I think America missed a massive fucking opportunity. Now, okay, I'm skeptical as to how much he could have actually got done, but I think some change would have happened. So
yeah. Sammy says it's sad when the man we want to beat Trump we want silent. Right, yes. Question 748. Shut up! Enough!
Isn't it a case that Trump... No.
Next question!
No.
Go on.
Moving on!
Isn't it
Go on.
fine?
Go on.
You've upset me now.
The lag today is terrible.
I'm going back in my fort.
Right, okay, next question.
right, Jane, you were saying now Badger's gone.
Yeah, I was saying. It's not worth it anymore. I was saying, isn't Trump operated like a puppet by Pence anyway?
No, that would be wonderful.
No, I don't think so. No, it's not. I think you're confusing them with like Dick Cheney and George W. Bush, or I think that was kind of the case there. But
the problem is that Bush knew that he didn't know everything. Trump thinks he knows everything. People are scared to tell him he is wrong. People are scared to tell him why he is losing. It's
because anyone who does tell him straight, he fucking fires them.
Yeah. Right, good. We've solved that. Next question. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.